Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever this happens to arrive in your reality of now. This morning I had looked at my messages and I had an invitation to a retirement party. The person who's retiring has helped thousands and thousands of people, if not more. He is one of the most calm, well-educated, medically aware people that can arrive when you dial 911. And seeing his retirement helped me reflect on how thankful I am to have known him and to have worked with him long, long, long ago, a different Delinda ago. And we ran on the same crew, and due to his wisdom and education, he always took lead on all the calls. And that was hugely helpful because he knew what needed to happen and when it needed to happen. Christmas Eve, we get a call, and there's a gentleman obviously having signs and symptoms of a heart attack. It's Christmas Eve. The guy didn't want to leave his wife and kids, and he was frightened of needles. We talked him into going. He had to. And get him in the back of an ambulance. His wife and sons followed behind. I could see them outside the back of the window. The lead person was setting up all the equipment that would be needed. And I am looking at our client, and I watched him cross over. And I called the lead person's name to alert him of what was happening. I was holding the gentleman and was rolling him over, because one of the things that happens when you die is everything relaxes and you can vomit, you'll pass your last bowel movement, you'll urinate, everything in the body lets go. So all that's happening, and I'm cleaning out his mouth so he doesn't choke. The lead paramedic next to me sees what's happening, takes his fist and slams it onto the person's heart, and I'm holding the person, looking directly at him, and I watched him come back into isness. It was one of the most profound moments. For this gentleman, moments like that are his normal. He's helped so many people, not just in his skills, also with his advice, his words, and his behaviors. He's closing that chapter and opening journeys into the next stage, to the next parts of reality of life. I would love for him to have all of those moments of good deeds repaid back 100-fold. All those lives that he touched and he helped, he secured, he stabilized, he helped. Knowing how and the ways to handle a situation like that. One, it's very old school. Not very many people would know how to do it. And for me, it was such a blessing. I watched the father slip away, and I watched him come back into his isness. And I turned around, and I could see his wife and kids in the car behind on Christmas Eve. A lot of our EMS and our firefighters, they have such giving, generous hearts. They help and they stabilize in incredible moments of stress and chaos. They look past and aren't affected by blood, vomit, urine, piss, shit, and they stabilize you. I believe all births and deaths to be on purpose. That wasn't time for that gentleman to die. And that's why the universe conscripted to have that person, that lead paramedic at that time. Because he was there and he knew exactly how to thump, when to thump, and what kind of pressure to put on. He had a new chance. Because of the person's, after that, he did get needles put in. So that way, his emergent care could be put directly into his veins as needed. Usually we would have put an IV in, still at the house. But his fear kept him from it, and that walked him closer to death's door. Thankfully, the right person was there right as he needed. This gentleman, he was in, how do I word this in a way that protects all the people and doesn't label who they are or point fingers so that you could tell. It's their identity is theirs. Their stories are theirs. But this gentleman has been there at important places when 9/11 struck. He has been there at important places all over the world when he was needed. And closing the chapter of that is a thing to celebrate. Others with their own gifts, their own talents, their own knowledge, some gleaned from him, others learned independently, will take his place. And his next steps will walk in a way that honor what he wants to do in the now. Honoring who you are, cherishing and celebrating where you came from, and looking at where you're going in celebration, I believe, helps you feel childlike wonderment and joy, excited to start the day, to begin anew. So, new beginnings, excitement, childlike joy, innocence, balance of all the good deeds. I think I will sum that up as focusing on bliss. It's not quite that, but I want to summarize. A card for bliss, retirement, ending one chapter, beginning again. I am receiving that invitation. I'm so proud to have worked with him and to have known him and to have learned from him. Teachers that write themselves onto your heart, your life, and your belief system are such precious nuggets of wealth to come across. This light language will be focusing on helping those starting one era to their next. So fresh steps into new beginnings, joy and bliss. Fresh steps, new beginnings, joy and bliss. Magic. The frequency of magic supports our intrinsic ability to grow and expand beyond this moment, move towards the possibilities and the expressions that are as grand and profound as we can imagine. All that is required is belief in their manifestations. Bottom of the deck, prosperity. Top of the deck, tenderness. Magic is 31, breaks down to a 4. Tenderness is 40, breaks down to a 4. Prosperity is 36, breaks down to a 9. I will be focusing on 4, 9, 4. Childlike joy, magic. Expansion, Okay, my feet are curled up. Place your feet onto Gaia or curl them up. Seat yourself in a way that is comfortable and ease. Deep breath in and a slow release out. Nia tu shisamaniata kriya kupoyana nia sashwea daria satakashka poyana nia sete shisakushka maniata satakoya nia sashasueta ria tishisumaniata ria sakurmoyata ria sashasueta nia susha sataria kupoyana nia sataria shasuya nia daria daria kupoyata ria sashasataria naya nia tu sataria shasuturia satakurish daria trishumuya daria sataria shanuana nia daria kupoyata ria sataria kina moyata Nia sushu sataria sataria sare poreataria sataria shinomuya yanaya sataya. And release. All right. Random card in reference to the light language. Awareness 11. Take care. Be well.